again, everybody. Today we're gonna go through and get up onto her jack stands. We're gonna get her off of the wheel dollies. First I gotta go through and loosen up all the lug nuts, and then we're gonna jack her up and then take the wheel dollies out, put her on stands, and actually take the tires off and stack them up over on the side. So we're gonna get that done and then we'll go from there. Okay, now time to go through and take the tires off. Okay, so got all 4 of them off. Just got to go through and start taking the front end off. Actually, I'm going to pop the hood first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got the hood up. I'm going to go through and show you what I was talking about from the calipers and all that stuff. I actually had the brake line that's down here. It failed at the connection point right here, and it actually ate up all that paint area right there. So I'm gonna have to clean all that up, take the wheel inner fender well out, and then go through and completely clean everything up. The lowering springs are still doing good. Like I said, I'm gonna go through and get those powder coated. I hate the color that they got redone from when basically I took my car to get the brakes bled because I didn't have time to do it myself. And in the process, Brake Masters over by my work decided to not do their job properly from the original paint job that I did, and in the process they decided to let the brake fluid go all the way down the calipers that I had freshly painted and everything else. So they redid it, but it didn't turn out anywhere near like I had it before. I had it almost like a blue metallic candy is what it looked like, and then I had the actual graphics on it that said Camaro and Brembo brakes, all that stuff. And then they decided to write me off, and so I won't be going there, and I tell everybody, do not go to Brake Masters. Just the thought. Or at least the one by my work. I don't know how all the other ones are. That one their management is awful. I've heard nothing but bad things from everybody. Just don't take your car to Brake Masters and surprise. But anyways, continuing on. Okay, first I think I'm going to go through and take out the strut tower brakes here, so this way I can get all the washers and nuts and bolts and all that stuff all put together in a bag, so this way I can keep it all clean and tidy, because you know, got to keep a clean workspace when you're actually working on stuff so you don't lose pieces. Just a thought. I thought it was pretty good, but anyway. It's so mean. Love the front end. so glad I went through and did the edge for the name and everything else too. But here's the blackout, or the red line edition that I was talking about for the RS that we're going to be putting on the back. I actually have another one back there we're going to go through and put on. I think after we take the tower brace off, I think we'll go through and take off that back fin, so this way we can get the trunk lid disassembled, and then this way it's ready to go to paint when, you know, I have the extra money to go get that done. But after that, I think we're going to go through and take the engine cover off and just kind of gauge what we're going to be doing for underneath of there. Obviously we're going to be doing the spark plugs for sure, but the wire management and all that stuff, I'm going to have to figure that out, because I don't like how everything is just kind of tight to where it was for factory. I'm not a fan of that. And then I think I'm going to go through and paint the K&N too. I'm going to have to strip the label off, which is obviously already jacked up as it is, but I've got replacement labels for that. That's not a problem. Yeah, anyways, moving on. Need to get some better tools apparently too. This one will do for now though. Just loosen all these up first. If I remember correctly, when I first put them on, they were easy enough to, yep, just like that. Okay, so when you're going through and putting stuff in a bag, you gotta make sure you label it. So this is gonna be for the strut tower brace. And we're gonna, of course, use this to then go through and put the bolts in like we just talked about. Okay, one side done. Let's go through and do the other side now. Okay, got all that done. We're gonna put these down over here. Now, this is loose. Just pick it up and it comes straight out. We'll put this off to the side so we can do the painting and all that stuff later. Now we're gonna go through and put all these into a bag, but obviously this doesn't have to be labeled because we know what those are. You can see the surface rust from the years of having these on there. They were originally a matte black, so this is actually the original color. But I don't know if I want to paint them or if I want to have them powder coated. I'm probably going to just paint them because it'd probably be cheaper to get that done. If not, the replacements, that's not that expensive either, but I don't want to go that route. Okay, so now we're going to go through and take this off like we talked about. Cool thing about this is it's actually pretty simple. We just got to go through and take the covers off, and then we got to go through and take this mat off here. Same thing with the other side over here, and then there's just bolts that are just underneath of these that we would go through and undo, and that'll come straight out. Of course, gotta have a bag for this stuff too, so we're gonna call this spoiler. And then we're gonna go through and put all the parts in there. Okay, so I got that taken off, and just in case anybody was wondering, this is what the underside of it looks like. This is actually from an add-on from my rapid fire third brake light that I actually got from Fast Tech Performance. And then obviously this is your emergency release, which is just stuck up through the center section there. There are, right here, there's the those little rubber grommets that actually are to hold the push pins, but for whatever reason that was definitely a design flaw, because that thing, the actual pin goes into the trunk a lot. So I just, with how little I open the trunk, it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time it's irritating when you have to. Okay, so now that we got that unbolted, we can lift this and carry and put it over there. Put it right down here on the floor for now. Okay, so just got to go through and finish putting everything else in the bags. When I went through and put this on there, it didn't come with the kit, but I actually put in some rubber spacers, and then the original factory wing had some extra holes that were drilled in because it was only mounted on the exterior of it for some reason. No, I take it back. It was here as well, but so it had an extra hole, but the aftermarket one did not have this, so I had to actually cover it up. But obviously with us getting this repainted to fix the paint imperfections, or damage I should say, we'll go through and we're gonna have to peel these off and get some new ones anyways, and just go from there. Okay, now to take the actual trunk latch out, there's basically a little star pattern bolt that's here. We just gotta go through and take those out. There's a couple of them on either side, and then that will come right out too. So I got those out. Now the cool thing with this is this actually slides over and then pulls out. The only thing I have to do left now is to get this one connector out, and I've got the rest of the harness already free. Obviously you can tell this is just unbolted from there. This is a connector here, but I'm taking the whole wire off because we're taking this whole piece over to the painter. Okay, now for the third brake light that's up here, there is actually 4 little tension, let's see if I can get that to focus there. Yes, okay, so there's that basically is a tension hook that you, by unloosening the screw there, it lets go of the hook to where then you can pull the third brake light up from the other side. So once we get that done, I can fish this wire back through, and then that whole assembly right there will pop out. Okay, so we got that all taken off, got the third brake light out. At this point, obviously that Chevy emblem is basically just glued on there, from what I understand, almost like a 3M tape. It's like a foam tape almost. I'm not going to take the trunk coat all the way off. We're just going to go through and close it to where it shuts down, just so this way we don't have any exposure into the side of the car. Even though it's in the garage, we don't want any extra dust or dirt or creepy crawlies going into it. But so now we're just going to go through and put all our tools away. All we had to really use for this is I had to use a Phillips, just because of the aftermarket spoiler came with, basically it was a cross or a combination screw that you could use a Phillips or a socket too, but it was just easier for Phillips. And then obviously the trim remover, which these are very handy. Strongly suggest getting those. This one was kind of cheap. I think I ended up getting it on Amazon, just like I do with everything else pretty much. But we're gonna leave all the pieces in here. We've got well, the light's not turning on, but anyways, I've got the third brake light right there, and then we have the carpet kit, basically we're just going to refer to it as, and then the trunk latches right there. But we're going to go through and close this all up and then go from there. Okay, so like I was talking about, we're not going to shut it all the way, just enough. There's really nothing for it to latch onto, but we still don't need it to slam down and break something else, because that's not fun. Okay, now for this is actually very simple. All it is just the oil cap that comes out, and then this whole piece just lifts off in place. They're actually stuck down with these rubber grommets that are up on the top, and they just stick down onto these little metal posts. So very simple. Take that out and put this over here. So that's actually what it looks like underneath of it. This is obviously the air intake. This is the actual manifold for the air to come into the engine itself. This is actually a throttle body right here. I did put this throttle body spacer on there. It's actually made by AirAid. It actually, the way that it's designed is to create more of a vortex for the air to come in. I didn't really notice it at first, but without the Can-Am air intake on there, it did create a little bit of a whine almost, I guess you could say. I mean, nothing like a supercharger or anything like that, but it was noticeable to where it was kind of winding up. So put that on there so this way we don't have any dust or anything getting in there. And then we're gonna go through and, yeah, I think we're gonna end the video here today. We're gonna go just kind of clean this engine bay up a little bit. Okay, hi, sorry. We're gonna go through and clean it up and get some of the dust and dirt out of here, so this way we have more of a clean space. I need to get some proper lighting. No, that costs money. I'm gonna go through and put the money into this car, not in an extra gear, sorry. Maybe a cheap microphone, but that's pretty much it. Although I do have some Samsung Galaxy Buds coming in. Those might work for the videos. I don't know if they're gonna work with the camera or not, so but we'll see. Anyways, we're gonna end it here. If you guys have any other comments, whatever, just post them down below. You know, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, because I know most of the people that are subscribed to this channel don't have that turned on, which does not make sense. That's kind of the whole point of being notified. But anyways, you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching.